shooting guard, 6 feet 7 inches, number 25, Tavo Cephalosha. And forward, 6'8" from Missouri, number 5.
The Hawks play before the hometown crowd, and we've got it live right here from Atlanta, Georgia. Well, it was the Golden State Warriors winning their last game against Kyle Korver. He's checked in for Damari Carroll. And Golden State also making a change. Draymond Green, he's checked in for Andrew Bogut. And Golden State looking at who they've got. Steph, Clay, and Dre on the perimeter. Green at the 4 with Lee at the 5.
What a sloppy start while protecting the ball.
Yeah, 4 turnovers for him already, guys. I mean, if he keeps that up, I think he'd have to expect some funny looks from his teammates.
And Chance subbed in for the Hawks. And a bit of good news for this young man. He was offered another 10-day contract by the team as they want to get an extended look at him.
And, you know, just the fact that they want to see more of him really is a good indication that he's doing the right thing. I think he's on the right track and trying to maintain his momentum.
Picked by Lee. Curry outside. Atlanta with the rebound. Defeated by the Wizards in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
They came out flat that night and could never really get it going. Not their best effort for sure, Clark.
No, I agree with you. And I thought maybe they could find somebody to come off the bench and give them a spark, but it didn't happen.
Shot clock at 6. Here's Cephalosha, and it comes off the front of the rim.
Andre Iguodala, a free agent going into last season. He showed a lot of patience, even letting more lucrative offers lapse as he held out for the slim chance that the Warriors could clear the space to sign him.
Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession. Atlanta making some changes. Scott comes in for Paul Millsap. And it's Kent Bazemore in for Tavo Cephalosha. Golden State also making some changes. Spates checked in for Lee. Barnes comes in for Andre Iguodala. And it's Livingston in for Curry.
Kevin, let's look at where the Hawks stand in the NBA rankings right now. 6th in opponent points per game, 11th in free throw percentage, and they're in the top half of the league in fewest turnovers. When you can be in that company, you're giving yourself a chance to be a winning team.
And the number that jumps out to me, Clark, is the opponent's points per game. You mentioned they're in the top 10. I think that's evidence of a good plan by the coaching staff. And the players are really following that game plan on a night-to-night basis.
The Hawks trail by 4. Dishes to Bazemore. Passes to Champ. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Pass to Scott. It's rebounded by Golden State. Green's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
In terms of rebounding, it's been a sensational opening quarter.
I like sensational. That's a good word for it.
Here is Korver, covered by Barnes. 23 seconds left in the first quarter. And that one's good. Chance got his first points of the night.
And that assist earned him a little nod from his teammate after the basket.
Livingston kicks to Barnes. There's the pass to Thompson. In Lotus space. It's stolen. And they're running. Here's Korver. The shot goes down. This game back to even.
Yeah, he put himself in great position to finish that break off, guys.
Yep, right to the rack.
Tie game in Atlanta. And don't go away. We'll be back
next Sunday, February 8th. Paul Millsap and the Atlanta Hawks take on Marc Gasol and the Memphis Grizzlies. It's East and West. Hoops action.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And when you consider how Atlanta is doing, Steve, Clark, your thoughts?
Pretty good start defensively. This club forced some mistakes and took advantage, and that's how they built this lead.
And they built the lead because not only have they forced turnovers, but they've taken care of the ball themselves. So that's a winning combination.
New group on the floor. Golden State also making some changes. Lee's checked in for Bogut. Green comes in for Maurice Spates. And Steph Curry subbed in for Sean Livingston. Millsap at power forward with Horford at center. Kyle Korver is out there with Champ, and it's Cephalosha in at the small forward. So that's the Hawks 5. And the wide open shot from Green. Money from the wing.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
Well, you look at how the Warriors have improved, really a change in philosophy from years past. The new ownership wanted size for position, rebounding, defense, toughness. They've really established a nice foundation.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Well, gentlemen, Stephen Curry, arguably the league's best perimeter shooter. Curry said, "I love everything about shooting, but mostly that perfect form when your body is in rhythm from the time you plant your feet to the time you release the ball. Everything is smooth and calm. It moves through you like a wave. It's a beautiful thing." Kevin, no doubt.
It is indeed. Thanks, Doris. And the first big move towards that size and defense for the Warriors was the trade of Monte Ellis for Andrew Bogut with Milwaukee.
And like many trades, it was questioned initially, but Bogut has brought that toughness and interior defensive presence this team so desperately lacked. And the wins have really validated the Warriors' new direction.
Curry dishes to Thompson. Barnes sets a screen for Thompson. Rebounded by Cephalosha.
Well, those chances are almost always 2 points for him. I guess the defense did what it had to do to bother him.
Passes it to Champ. Puts it up from 12. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. Champ's got 6.
The defense is having a hard time matching the success they had against them in the first quarter because the offense has found its rhythm now.
Curry with it. Now defended by Champ. Curry attacking. Lee kicks to Barnes. Thompson outside. There's the feed to Curry. Out to the wing. Barnes passes to Curry. And Champ gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. 5 seconds left in the first half. Here's Curry. 1 second left. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter.
Yes, Kevin, thank you. I'm with Clay.
Okay, guys, we got a few minutes here. Let's go over a few things before we get going again.
We have a close ball game on our hands.
Let's see what you got, son.
Mike Scott's checked in for Millsap. Corver comes in for Damari Carroll. Kent Bazemore's checked in for Cephalosha. And Max subbed in for Jeff Teague. Different look here for the Warriors. Spates checked in for Bogut. Barnes comes in for Lee. Green, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. And it's Livingston in for Curry. And Golden State looking at who they got. Thompson teams with Green on the perimeter. Harrison Barnes is out there with Maurice Spates. And it's Livingston in at the point guard position.
You know, he's not somebody that leads points, but when he does score, that's a bonus.
Champs checked in for the Hawks. The Hawks leading by 15. With all that Sean Livingston went through with his horrific injury a few years back. You know, Steve, it's amazing just to see him out there on the floor playing basketball.
Yeah, I remember seeing that live. It was one of the most awful things to see on a basketball court. And I just have so much respect for Livingston, the way he's continued to grind it out and carve out a career for himself. He's become a very, very good player.
Warriors trail by 17. To the wing right side.
Ebb's been on since the injury. And I think that says an awful lot about him as a player and as a person. The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
1:09 left in the third quarter. Kicks to Scott. Here's Horford. Barnes grabs the miss.
He continues to struggle from the field. But luckily for him and his team, his teammates have been able to pick him up and get the job done.
Well, with Livingston, as you said, he had to adjust his game a lot after the injury. But he was so skilled coming into the league that you knew he'd find a way to become a positive influence on the floor. He's not one-dimensional at all. He can do a lot of things out there.
The shot's good from Champ.
You know, we really haven't seen the same focus defensively that we did in the first half.
Here's Livingston. The shot's no good. And Atlanta will go the other way with it. They're getting their first look of the season at the Warriors in this one.
Yeah, they got swept in the 2 games that they played against this club last year. They lost both of them.
Thompson outside. Space sets a screen. Thompson outside. Got it from 16 feet. Thompson's got 6 in the quarter. Puts up a prayer. Can't hit. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
Well, with this assist, he shows you.
Gotti's checked in for Damari Carroll. Mack comes in for Cephalosha. And Chance subbed in for T. Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for Golden State.
And so here we go, just rolling along to the finish line in what has been a very confident-looking performance for Atlanta.
Starting 5 must have been happy to get so much help from the reserves in this game.
Yeah, I'm sure they weren't. They not only lightened the load, the bench guaranteed and actually produced the win.
They sure did. And so it'll boost this year's win total for them to 29.
Sometimes, guys, it's hard during the first meeting of a season to get a feel for a team, but these guys came out and made the necessary adjustments, and I think they've got to feel good about going up 1-0 in the season series against the Warriors.
Well, you look back at this one, and what an amazing performance this has been for Paul Millsap. It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket just seems to be incredibly wide.
Champ, he's in at the point. Paul Millsap out there with Scott. Then it's Shelvin Mack. And it's Corver in at the small forward. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. Here's Champ. Can't get it to fall. And so it's the Hawks taking care of business in this one. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were full throttle from the start.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by. sideline.
Well, Al, certainly.